You know when you have that really big presentation and you've learned it and you've practiced it and you've really worked on your English and you've got to the end of that presentation and then you think to yourself, ja, ich habe es geschafft, aber noch nicht, because you still have to deal with the questions at the end of the presentation. But don't worry, in this video I'm going to tell you some phrases you can use when you are dealing with questions. Now, often an audience can be very different. Some people will ask you good questions, some people will ask you difficult questions, some people will ask you unnecessary questions. You know, maybe you answer a question and then another person asks the same question again, so that question is an unnecessary question. And of course, some people might ask you irrelevant questions, so they're not relevant to your topic. So I'm going to give you some phrases, how you can basically answer those questions from your audience. Okay, phrases you can use. So for example, let's start with good questions. If somebody asks you a good question, you can say, good point, and then answer your question. Or you can say, great question, and then you can answer the question. Or you can say, I'm glad you brought that up, and then you can answer the question. So I'll write the phrases here for you. Okay, so you can say good point, great question, or I'm glad you brought that up, and then you can answer their question. So what happens if they ask you a difficult question and you don't know the answer to this question? Don't panic, you know, stay cool, stay calm, and basically say, well, I'm afraid I don't know that off the top of my head. And that means I don't know that right now in this moment. So say, I don't know that off the top of my head, or say, can I get back to you on that? And then after the presentation, look for the information and send it to that person or give it to that person. Or you can say, you can turn it back on your audience. You can turn it back on the person who asked the question and say, yeah, interesting, what do you think? Or you can open it up to the audience and say, interesting, what do you think? And then maybe the person who asked the question or somebody in the audience might answer that question for you. So I'll write up those phrases for you now. So you can say, I don't know that off the top of my head, or can I get back to you on that, or interesting, what do you think? Okay, let's move on to unnecessary questions. So somebody asks a question and then 5 minutes later another person asks the same question. Then you can say, well, as I said earlier, and then give the answer. Or, well, as I mentioned earlier, and then repeat the answer. Or you can also say, I think I answered that earlier, and then move on. So I'll write up those phrases for you here. Okay, so well, as I said, or well, as I mentioned earlier, or I think I answered that earlier. Okay, you always have somebody, or you often have somebody in the audience who will ask you a question that is not relevant. And in that case you can say, yes, I think that raises a different point, and then you can move on. Or you can say, I'm afraid I don't see the connection. So I don't see the connection with my theme. Or basically imagine that you have the answer but it's confidential, or you're not allowed to give that information because it's sensitive or politically sensitive information. Then you could say, I'm afraid I'm not in a position to comment on that. So that's often an answer that's given in a press conference when a journalist asks something and the person can't or shouldn't give the answer. They can say, I'm afraid I'm not in a position to comment on that. So I'll write those phrases up now. Okay, so I'm afraid I don't see the connection, I think that raises a different point. I'm afraid I'm now in a position to comment on that. So you've given your presentation, you've asked for questions from the audience and they've asked you questions, they've asked you good or difficult or unnecessary or irrelevant questions, and you've answered them, and that's when, only on the inside, that's when you can really say, geschafft! So good luck with your presentations, thanks a lot for watching the video, please like the video and come back for more. See you soon. If you want to see more video tips like this, just click on these videos here. Here are some examples before I tell you the explanation. Have a look at them and see, can you tell me the differences in the meaning of these words. So, mayor or mayor. So here we have 6 business English abbreviations, quite typical ones. Which of those do you understand? And in these 5 sentences you have one mistake in every sentence.